revealing my most haunting, worst possible nightmare I could ever imagine. The man who opened the door was the—
I know I said Family Guy, but what in the Peter Griffin? Did I scare you? No? Anyways, yo, what's good YouTube? We are back with another video today. It's no gaming, no Family Guy. It's a video that was actually one of my first videos when I renewed the channel. Reacting to horror videos, and I know that you man like that because that's on— how many views has that got again? Let me check. 176 views. Yeah, damn. Let me change this light because it looks ugly right now. Is red cool? Or is blue cool? I think red look kind of cool. But yeah, I know it's been a while since I did one of these, and I was planning to do a series of it. So I'm actually going to try and continue that series because I know a lot of these series I'm starting, but I'm not even making an episode 2 of. So I need to actually try it. And yeah, I think the only series that I've properly done a couple videos on is the Family Guy one and Hogwarts Legacy, but that ain't like reactions. So yeah, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna be reacting to maybe like animated stories like I did last time, or maybe even a live action one this time if I'm man enough, which I don't think I am yet, but we'll see how I'm feeling. I haven't even picked which videos I want. I'm just gonna do it now, but I might as well have done the intro, you know what I'm saying? Before we head on into this video, if you guys do enjoy, obviously go crazy, go stupid on the like button. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification so you never miss another lit video from me. Without further ado, let's get on into the reaction. Oh, Horror Shorts Party just uploaded 11 days ago. Free True Valentine's Day. Horror Stories animated. I mean, it's relevant to the time I'm recording this, so we might as well do this. Damn, this is kind of loud. Match.com. Huh?
It was around January 2016 when it happened. I felt lonely since I had been single for a long time, and despite the advice of my family—
Wait, I'm sorry, it's only been 37 seconds. Can we just listen to how my man's voice is quivering?
Lonely since I had been single for a long time, and
for a long time.
despite the advice of my family and friends, I went on Match.com to meet someone who could finally make me feel whole again. As cheesy and small-minded as it may sound, I just wanted to spend my—
I don't understand people who use dating sites. It's so weird.
Day with someone special instead of keeping my eyes glued to the television.
Yo, your eyes are red, G.
Cheetos all by myself. After browsing every profile, I finally stopped looking when I found Emma. Everything about her was attractive. She was definitely my type. At that moment, I felt she was the perfect match. So, with no time to lose,
I
messaged her immediately, hoping she
mid at best.
Cold shoulder. Hours passed, making me feel edgy, but the wait was worth it.
Bro, ain't that deep?
Replied. My heart skipped a beat, and we have kept in touch ever since. We called each other day and night, talking about everything and anything. And as the weeks passed, I felt we had grown closer. So,
why are you laughing like that?
Before Valentine's, we decided to meet up. Of all the fancy stuff going through my head, taking her to a hotel was the best choice. It meant good food and a luxurious room, but the most exciting part was yet to come with her and I on the bed. So, I checked in a day earlier, intending to spice things up a little as I set up the room to create the perfect atmosphere. The following night, Emma was set to arrive. I'm not going to lie.
Why does her mouth look like that?
As if it was a first date all over again, but I didn't want to back out now. So, I gave her the details, including the hotel I was at and the room I was waiting in. At first, I was afraid she'd be under the impression that I was desperate, but when she told me on the phone that she was on her way, it boosted my confidence. About half an hour later,
that ain't the knock of a normal person, G.
I took a deep breath and opened it, expecting to see the attractive woman I saw in the photos.
Bro, I'm ready for a jump scare.
However, I was disappointed when she looked subpar, totally different from the pictures I had seen.
She mid.
A sleeveless shirt and a short flashy skirt with a bulging belly, and dark round circles around her eyes.
Nah, first off, let's start off with what's coming out of her face. I truly say these little, and then the
making her look like a zombie. Moreover, her hair was disheveled and greasy, like she hadn't washed it in days. She was a freaking catfish. I couldn't believe I was being scammed. But despite my dissatisfaction, I was so desperate to be with someone on Valentine's Day that sleeping with her was my only chance. We had a little chat where she told me how thrilled she was to finally meet me in person, and that
I thought you didn't want to be desperate. But the... Huh?
I was more handsome in real life than in the photos. I wished I could say the same thing about her, but I held back and decided not to comment on her physical appearance, knowing she'd leave me. Then, as I was about to give her Valentine's present, her phone rang, and when she picked it up, I heard her say,
"Yeah, he's here, sitting next to me."
I felt my throat dry up. My muscles stiffened. I looked at her with confusion, wanting to ask what was happening. Emma, who was that on the phone with you? I said as my voice cracked. She didn't say a word. She only stared at me with a blank expression.
Why'd you look like a man?
Her vigor and interest in me vanished, and I could tell that something was wrong. I just couldn't pinpoint what it was exactly, but then I saw the most disturbing, most horrific thing I have ever saw in my life. A masked man barged in the room, armed and dangerous, saying, "Get down on the floor, now!" I kneeled down with my face touching the ground, sweat pouring from my body as I raised my hands to surrender. Stop! Please, let's talk about this. I didn't do anything wrong. Just let me go.
Shh! Lower your voice. The sooner you cooperate, the sooner we'll be done with this.
Emma scowled.
Done with what?
Began to tremble uncontrollably, complying with everything they said as they threatened me to get into their vehicle parked in the back. Then, as we walked to the parking lot, the man said under his breath, "Don't try anything funny. You got that? This isn't the first time we've dumped a dead body." I swear I couldn't breathe, and even when I saw many people pass by, they were unaware of what I was going through, with no other...
How do you not question... No. How do you not question... One sec. A man with a belly on like that, and a lady like that, and a boy just sweating. No, the logic of NPCs, I swear down.
I got into the vehicle, and the couple gave me a hell of a ride. The masked man drove so fast that I thought we would crash at any moment. What do you want from me? I don't have much. I swear. Shut up. One more word from you, and your family will see you on the news. I was afraid my life was going to flash before me. I might have peed my pants, convinced there was no way to escape. Then, with every chance they got, they forced me to withdraw money from several banks around the city. It was crazy. My head was spinning. I didn't know when, if, or how this nightmare would end. I just wanted to go home. I didn't care if I was alone. Anywhere but here was better. Then, after the 6th bank, they made me strip to my underwear, which I hesitated at first. But when they threatened to hurt me, I couldn't say no. And after giving them what they wanted, they kicked me out of the vehicle in the middle of nowhere. It was so dark that I couldn't even see the path I was trekking. There were no light posts nor glowing street signs to give me direction. I was lost, but at least I was alive. Since then, I couldn't look at Valentine's Day the same again. I deleted my profile on Match.com and decided to meet people the right way instead of going.
Thank you.
I didn't know that wanting someone so much could lead me so close to death. Now, whenever it was Valentine's Day, I just spend it at home alone, keeping the doors locked and the house secured. The story was inspired by a real-life case that went down on Valentine's Day of 2016. The male and female shown here were the alleged culprits. The animation pretty much sums up the whole ordeal in a nutshell. The assailants have been accused of kidnapping and robbery, which is punishable by 10 to 20 years in prison.
Alright, we're going into the second one now, by the way.
For the last 6 years, I've been living in fear as a single woman all the way through my 30s and into my 40s. I am forced to fear for my safety.
Wait, hang on. The thing just, caught up to me. This is a lady. Who is voicing...
And all the way through my 30s and into my 40s, I am forced to fear for my safety, and here's why. It started on a Valentine's Day. I was doing my typical morning routine of watering the plants that grow around my small bungalow home. When I got to the front of the house, I noticed an unusual letter sitting on my porch. It was in a brownish envelope, and on one side had 5 crudely drawn X's. One and
That's
4
some
small
ritual
ones
bullcrap.
circling it. I opened it on my doorstep, and inside was a Valentine's Day card with the cat picture on it. I then opened the card and began reading it. And that's when this growing sensation of nausea and vertigo started to tell me something was very, very
What?
wrong. It was a handwritten note full of disturbing things. There were references to my daily activities, revealing that I was being watched, and other sickening comments about me and how I looked and whatnot. But even with all of that, they still had the nerve to sign off on the letter saying, "Lots of loving kisses on Valentine's Day to my sweet little oblivious victim. From your longtime secret admirer who has now become your stalker, Gordon." And at the bottom of the letter, the same symbol of the
Commissioner
5
Gordon?
X's. By the time I finished reading it, my hands were shaking. I didn't know of any Gordon. Freaked out, I phoned the police right away, but I was rather disappointed with the response I got. They said all they could do was file a report and take the letter as evidence. Other than that, they didn't have enough to go
This
on
is
to look
why
for him.
police
In
these
any
days
case,
are
I didn't
just-
get much shut-eye on that first night. When morning finally came, I cowered until I heard the postman come and go, and then I peeked through the blinds to see if there was another brownish envelope with X's on it. Thankfully, there wasn't. A few more days passed and no more letters from Gordon came in, and slowly I was able to feel less paranoid. I started to rationalize the event as perhaps a prank pulled by some neighborhood kids. But unfortunately, that was all out the table on the day when I walked out the door to go to work, and I saw another letter on my porch.
Oh
I
my.
knew it had to be from Gordon due to the 5 X's on it. I didn't want to touch it, but part of me felt like I had to read it.
Why
I
is
picked it
all
up
the
and
horror
started to
stories
unravel
in the
contents.
countryside?
And again, on the front of the card was an odd-looking.
Why does it have a mustache now?
Inside was the handwriting of an insane person confessing their love and admiration for me. He wrote much more in this letter, talking about the things he wanted to do to me, things that gave him pleasure to think about doing. Dreams
Hey,
about
yo.
kidnapping and imprisoning me, all expressed in painstaking and vulgar detail. And again, he signed off with a chummy tone while remembering to remind me that I was in danger, saying, "I hope you know that I think of you all the time, and I wish that we will be together very soon. Endless, messy love and kisses from your stalker and soon-to-be killer, Gordon." And then he capped off with his signature X. I stood there for a brief moment as the adrenaline built up and then
I'm moving countries.
sending me into a deep panic.
I don't know about you.
Mona, I'm calling the cops.
I went inside and immediately locked all the windows and doors.
Oh, I thought
before
they
got
were
my phone
inside.
to
I'm like,
alert the
what?
Authorities again. However, the response was the same. They took the letter as evidence and added it to the pre-existing case file, then basically told me to stop overreacting. I tried to reason with them, saying I felt I was in danger, but they brushed me off like they had bigger things to worry about, and to nobody's surprise,
You know what those bigger things is? Getting a pink frosted donut. That's what's always on their mind.
about a week later, my
Homer
worst
Simpson's day
fears were
looking.
realized. It was in the middle of the night, and I was still unable to settle down from receiving
Yeah, I'd be
Gordon's
sleeping like
last
that as
threatening
well
letter.
if I
had
knew
been
this was
tossing
happening.
and turning in bed for hours when I first heard noises coming from outside my bedroom window.
I can't.
I shot up out of bed to quickly hide underneath it. When I stopped moving, I could hear the sound again, and it was clearly footsteps, like someone was walking around my house, just outside my bedroom, getting closer and closer, until it finally stopped. I had to cover my mouth to keep from screaming when I saw the silhouette of a man looking through my window. I knew it had to be that Gordon freak. I went frozen stiff, hoping he would just go away. But then he tapped on the glass and started talking like he knew I was in there.
I thought that was a crow, but oh my days.
For Are you sleeping? I forgot to give you something from last Valentine's Day. I wanted to vomit, but I was forced not to move a muscle. I just
What is
waited
this
in
music?
agonizing silence, praying he would just go away. After several excruciating minutes passed, I never heard him walk away. His silhouette was gone, but I
Oh,
felt
no.
he was still outside my house. I could feel the fear inside me growing, convincing myself that if I continued to let him stand out there, it was only a matter of time before he couldn't resist the temptation to break in. At last, I made a break for it, climbing out from under the bed, grabbing my phone from the nightstand, and running to the other side of the house as I called the police yet again. I stayed on the phone with the operators as I cowered in my linen closet, waiting for help to arrive.
The music is kind of crazy, and I can't even lie. The little gring.
I was quite disappointed when the cops came and Gordon had already left the scene. All they found was another letter on my doorstep, but I didn't bother picking it up. I just let the cops take it, and that's all they ended up doing. They literally made no effort to find the man who continues to torment me to this day. Since
Bro,
then,
just
I have
move.
shared my story with the internet, urging anyone who sells letters, works at the post office, or thinks they recognize the handwriting to contact me. Over the years, my paranoia has grown worse and worse.
Yes.
I don't want to move away from my home. I refuse to admit defeat to this scumbag. Still, it strikes fear in
Then
me to know that Gordon
get the
is still
weapon,
out there
get the
and still
Glock,
knows where I
and get the
live.
business.
This story was inspired by a real life
Wait.
case.
It doesn't end. That there ain't an ending.
Home. I refuse to admit defeat to this scumbag. Still, it strikes fear in me to know that Gordon is still out there and still knows where I live. This story was inspired by a real-life case regarding an alleged stalker, quote-unquote, named Gordon. The images below are photographs of the Valentine's Day
That X
cards
thing is
with
actually-
the distinguishable cat image and disturbing messages with the signature
Lots of love and kisses on Valentine's Day to my from your long time secret admirer who has now become your stalker. So that line itself was actually real.
5 X's. Since then, the culprit has been caught. Here is the image of him, revealing
Sir, if you don't get yourself in a retirement home. Now look at this guy. This guy is somebody's whole grandpa.
Gordon to be a 68-year-old man who had been obsessed
68!
with the victim for years. He has since pled guilty to 1 charge of stalking.
Did they think that was gonna scare us? Alright, this okay, the last one is narrated by Terrence Nicholson. Ooh, okay. Ooh wee. He's way better than the last voice actor, in my opinion, but Cat wailed.
Desperation around Valentine's Day.
The animation changed.
Hopefully it's just an embarrassing date that you have to live down over time. But for me, it was much worse. I was in college, and the dreaded date of February 14th was getting dangerously close while I still had no one to call me out.
HS
My
College.
friends were all over
Horror
Tinder and
shorts.
kept telling me to get on it too. But after trying it a few times, I knew I
Again,
wasn't
what
gonna
is with these male voices narrating? Like, I
find
don't.
what I was looking
Are the women not
Most of them
that
are.
confident to be voice acting?
We're just thirsty cutthroats that want to use you once or twice and then
But I
never
know
see
there
you
is.
I was a bit of a hopeless romantic, and I was starting to believe I was becoming more naive and gullible by holding out for the perfect man. That is until one night, when I got a random DM on Instagram from a super hot guy that was just my type. I didn't think it was too good to be true. I was just surprised that he would pursue me over everyone else. His name on Instagram was Anthony something.
Do more
and
of
his
what
message-
makes you happy.
Hey there, beautiful. It took me a while to work up the courage to reply, but when I eventually did, I texted.
Hi there, handsome.
We hit it off fairly quickly and DM'd each other every now and then. On the third
So
day-
wait, the narrator is a male voice, but the one that is like the voice of the person at the current time he's narrating of is a female. Why couldn't it just be the whole thing? I don't
Hi
know.
there, handsome.
We hit it off fairly
Doesn't make
quickly and
sense.
DM'd each other every now and then. On the third day, he asked me out on a date. I was a little anxious and wasn't exactly ready to see him yet, so I replied with no. Regardless, I found it a little strange that he would pitch to meet at a local hilltop for our first meeting. I always said I couldn't do it for one reason or another, but it became even more uncomfortable when he persisted with it. He would always send messages saying, "How about that local hilltop today? It's beautiful weather right now. How about we go on a bike ride to the hilltop?"
Jeez, spiking your mic.
Just because I thought he was hot. He asked me to go to the same hilltop every day for 4 days, and he would always shoot down any other date ideas. It was apparent
Kids,
that
cover
he
your
was
eyes, by the way.
this hilltop.
I don't know why they're deciding
It was the
to.
night before Valentine's Day, and I finally had some time.
This looks like a Family Guy house, does it not?
On a date. That's when he asked me a different question, saying, "I got us a present for Valentine's Day. Want to know what it is?" I was curious, so I replied back with,
Yes, I do.
Peep how he's writing like, wait, hold on.
Curious, so I replied back with,
Peep how he's sending all these messages. All of these. And then you get the one 3-worded answer from her. That says a lot about today's society.
Yes, I do.
A few seconds later, he replies back with, "I got us a nice hotel," and then a wink sign at the end.
Oh no, not like the first
It
one.
seemed like he booked an expensive room in the nicest hotel in town.
Nuh-uh.
When he sent me
I
the
bet you
address,
it's one of
my
them.
heart sank. It wasn't nice at all. It was this dingy motel on the sketchy side of town. Suddenly,
You know what those
opposition
motels are
felt a
for.
lot scummier. But I gave him the benefit of the doubt, assuming he was tight on money. I was so excited to finally see him in person that I didn't care where it was, as long as it wasn't that stupid hilltop. After I showered, got dressed, and filled up on gas, I started driving across town.
Filled up on gas and it shows perfume.
The parking lot was almost full, so I parked near the lobby. I remember waving through the glass.
Who is that? Pablo Escobar? Okay, I'm gonna chill.
For the room number I was told to go to.
Why does she look like that?
Giving me
Like,
a strange look that I couldn't understand. But I brushed
yeah,
it
this
off.
is like
When I
everyone here knows each other. You know what it
knocked
is.
quietly so I wouldn't draw attention.
All right, get ready, guys. I'm getting ready for a recoil.
Louder this time.
FBI, open up.
I pounded on the door several more times until it finally opened.
Revealing my most haunting, worst possible nightmare I could ever imagine. The man who opened the door was the
I know I said Family Guy, but what in the Peter Griffin? Who is
slob that was nothing like
this?
the Anthony I saw on Instagram.
The right room.
He has chins for chins.
Anthony here?
Yes, sweetheart. I'm Anthony. I felt like I was going to throw up. Everything hit me all at once as I realized I'd been such an idiot to let myself get catfished this bad on Valentine's Day. But as soon as I started to walk away, the sicko reached out and grabbed me by the waist and yanked me into the room like a
With his little.
Everything crashed and burned in a matter of seconds. I started screaming for help as he slammed the door and
What's he
threw me
doing?
across the room onto the bed. Then,
Oh, he
started
Hulk.
undressed as he blocked me in by standing in front of the only exit. He then started stripping down to his underwear as I
Oh,
grabbed
hell
the
no.
lamp on the
Yes, sir.
but it was useless.
No, destroy
He
him.
smacked the lamp out of my hand. It pushed me over again. This time immediately getting on top of me.
Get off of me! Leave me alone or I'm calling the cops!
His sheer size and weight were enough to pin me down by the arms and legs.
This looks like a whole villain.
So much I could barely breathe. I wailed one last time before he started to smother me. I thought I was about to die in my hotel room, but right as he crouched his face towards me, I heard the door open. Hey! The creep turned his head to the side just in time to get bashed in
Why
the
is his
face
eyes
by
lit
a
up?
baseball bat. He lost his balance and was pushed over off of me onto the floor. That's when I finally saw who came in the room. It was the clerk from the front desk
Oh, so he wasn't a part.
that I waved at a minute ago. Stay on the floor! You move and I bash your head in! I was too stunned to speak. I guess that motel
You're
clerk
lucky.
was used to seeing sketchy stuff at that motel and could tell when he needed to intervene. Thanks to
Oh,
his
he
intuition,
probably was suspicious of her.
a few minutes later, the cops
Got you.
arrived and arrested Anthony. I gave my statement to the police and got an escort back home. I didn't sleep for weeks, and it only got worse when the story hit the news. It turns out that he was linked to the victims of several fatalities that were found at a local hilltop. The same
The hill.
thing he tried to get me to go to. It's no wonder why he was so persistent about it. It terrifies me knowing that could have easily been me. This story was inspired by a story of a psychotic man that used social media.
Also, I love how they over exaggerate features in an animated story. That's kind of what Like, it's kind of the benefit of an anime story. You can really go wild with your animation. We can see where the inspiration comes from, though. No offense, but full offense, because he did that and he deserves to be,
Valentine's Day. As stated in the story, he has been linked to several cases. The username Anthony was of course just an alias. His real name is Keegan, and he has since been sentenced for his heinous crimes.
Good.
I don't know if I have the right room. Is Anthony here?
Yes, sweetheart.
I love how they're playing in the background. Also, what the hell is this? Maybe I could watch that for next time. Actually, should I save that right now? Let me save that. I'll save it in my watch later, and I'll try watch it later. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, obviously go crazy, go stupid on the like button, make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification so you never miss another lit video from me. I hope to do more of this series. That was actually one of my favorite reactions to do. I don't know why, it was funny, man, especially Peter Griffin. Like, what's going on? Yeah, I'm trying to do more videos other than gaming right now, but I'm still gonna pursue the gaming ones because I kind of want to finish Hogwarts Legacy. Maybe God of War. I don't know if I'm going to continue God of War though, because that's like my least liked series. We'll see, but I know when Spider-Man 2 comes out, I'm definitely doing a series on that, and maybe other games, and maybe I might go back to GTA Vice City. Let me know if you'd want that. But yeah, if you guys would want this series, you know what to do. And until next time, stay safe and love.